I may occasionally stand up for these videos if I feel like it or not. In this case, I am prepared to stand up for this one. Not that I wasn't initially, but just thought keep it a little bit different. For this game, for the Heat, the Hurricanes game didn't go the way that we wanted to. We got this game, Miami Heat versus Atlanta Hawks, the team that beat us in the play-in last season, so we did not forget. And the Heat in this game goes to Atlanta, Georgia, dominated without his two key players. Jimmy Butler out for personal reasons, and I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay because when you hear something like personal reasons, it sort of means something that you don't want to hear. Like a family emergency, just an example. I hope he's okay. And then Tyler Herro, who we found out that he's going to be out for a few weeks. Not surprising. Like I said in the other video with Memphis, I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. Ankle sprains are no joke. I dealt with those before. They suck. Like, they really suck. And they hurt a lot. But anyway, in this game, they dominated. The Heat dominated the Hawks. And then Atlanta were feeling a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure that they made so many mistakes. And they get frustrated with their mistakes. So, before we get to the game, let's talk about the box score. So, Duncan Robinson starting the game in for Tyler Herro, because he's going to be out for a little while, as he does get 11 points. And the three-pointing is, 1 for 10 is not going to cut it. That just still inaccurate with the shooting on the three-pointers, but the one time that we needed the three from Robinson is where we got it. But since no, that's just not a good performance. 5 for 15 on the field goals, but that's pretty much it. Haywood Highsmith, he did pretty good. 11 points, 5 for 7 on the free throws. That's a little bit more than we would have liked from him. He does get 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 for 13, and 0 for 5 on the three-pointers. Bam Adebayo, Bam Adebayo played nearly 40 minutes in this game, and Bam Adebayo just crushing it off the rebounds. 26 points and 17 rebounds from Bam. He is just great tonight. And he is 8 for 8 on a free throw line, 9 for 12 on a field goals. So just a great performance by Bam Adebayo defensively and offensively. And he has gotten a lot better offensively too. I mean, if you look at his points stack, if you look at his points throughout this season, and I hope there's a stat for it, he averages 22.7 points of the season. Yeah, that's his average. That is literally his average. This is crazy. It's literally crazy to think. Let's see here. In his last 5 games, like the last 5 games, Bam has scored 21 points against Brooklyn. Then we go to in-season tournament game against Washington. He only scored 18 points. But since that Washington game, he has been 20 points or over. He has scored 22 points against the Lakers with 20 rebounds. I don't give a shit what the NBA says. 20 rebounds. Memphis with 30 points. By the way, the Laker one, he got the three-pointer. And in this game, 26 points, 17 rebounds. 11 rebounds and 20 rebounds. Even though they're saying it's 11 rebounds because they took away that rebound. Just leave him alone. Just leave him alone. It is ridiculous. But the points, it's insane to think about. And the rebounds is still out of control with him, especially on the defensive side. And the offensive side, too. He has 4 offensive rebounds of the game. 13 of those were off the charts. Kyle Lowry, 17 points and 4 three-pointers. I thought Lowry played great. He's shutting down the critics. He's improving again, and he's making his playmaking, and he's 5 for 5 on a free throw, and Kyle Lowry doing his part. But the biggest note here, besides Bam Adebayo, starting the game for Jimmy Butler, is Jaime Jaquez Jr. scoring 20 points tonight against Atlanta with two three-pointers of the game. One of them that the other player of Atlanta, and I'll talk about him when we get there, broke his ankles, and then he shoots the three. How freaking cold-blooded that was. How cold that was from Jaquez. 2 for 2 on the free throws, 3 rebounds, 20 points. Jaquez shooting a basketball, and he's making these layups and those 2 3-pointers. That's his career high, 20 points, as far as I know, career high. And right now, this is his best performance of the season as a rookie, as a Heat rookie. Giving it a clap. I'm giving a clap there. Now off the bench is Kevin Love, finally playing a game after a few games. He scored 7 points, 1 3-pointer, 2 field goals, and 2 for 2 on the free throws. Jamal Cain, he only played for like a couple of seconds and then didn't do much. Josh Richardson, definitely a big game for him. 16 games, 16 points, 3 3-pointers, and all of them were clutches, and 1 free throw, 16 points, and 6 field goals. I mean, nice performance there by him. And then Drew Smith. I thought Drew Smith surprised me tonight. Not the guy to shoot a 3-pointer with, but he shot one tonight, and that's coming down to shot clock. Need a shot clock. Scoring 9 points tonight, so congrats to him on that part. Okay, so now we're going to Atlanta side. They're the home team. Now we're going to start off with DeAndre Hunter, who has scored 10 points. And he has 5 rebounds, 2 assists, so he's more of a defensive player in this one. Next up is Jalen Johnson, who has scored 9 points with 1 3-pointer and 4 field goals. Clint Capella with 8 points, so not much from him. But with the offensive side, but the defensive side with 12 rebounds, and he's 6 for 10. He's 6 for 10. Height. Trae Young, 27 points, 7 for 19. He's 3 for 9 on the 3-pointers and 10 for 11 on the free throws. 27 points tonight, and he has 11 assists. So he has a double-double for himself tonight for Atlanta. So Trae Young, of course, Trae Young. And he does make those deep threes, but a little bit of a Duncan Robinson issue. Just a little bit inconsistent tonight. But he's still an all-star. And speaking of all-star, another all-star is Murray. I can't really say his first name. Janot. I can't do it anymore. Sorry. He has scored 23 points, 5 3-pointers. A majority of those came from the second half. And he's 9 for 16, 23 points. It looked like it was automatic. I swear. I thought he was automatic. But we managed to hold him down because the point spread was a little bit too much at that time. Okongwu, just 2 points. Those were from the free throws. Bey, I thought Bey was a little bit inconsistent with the shooting, but he did score himself 2 3-pointers and a field goal. So 8 points from him. Then Wesley Matthews, just 7 points. One of them was a free throw and the 2 3-pointers. But, boy. And then Bogdanovich scoring 15 points, 5 3-pointers. And you just can't leave him open like that at all. So Bogdanovich had himself a game in that one off the bench. Okay, so there's a difference here. and I'm going to talk about this as we break the game down. 15 turnovers for the Miami Heat, 21 from Atlanta. Atlanta Hawks, 21 turnovers. We'll talk about that. We'll talk like what happened here. All right, so in the first quarter, Atlanta starts off with the lead, and then we start off with that. So 5-2, 5-2 was the score. That would be the only time and the last time that the Hawks would have the lead, because since the 5-2, the Heat just completely took over and dominated this game. Just completely dominated this game. You got Haywood Highsmith and Bam Adebayo making shots, Duncan Robinson making some jumpers, Jaquez driving layups, and next thing you realize, late in the first quarter, they ended the first quarter 41 for 24. So there is that scenario. Okay, then things get a little bit tense because it seems as these turnovers are also coming by themselves, and there was some situation and there was some frustrations off the bench, and we have this. And this, if you see this T, that means somebody got a technical. Now, the technical foul happened near the end of the first quarter. It's Quinn Snyder, who is Atlanta's coach. He has got himself a technical foul, and he has challenged the call off the talks, and the challenge was unsuccessful. So they were charged with the timeouts. And Richardson makes a free throw, the technical free throw, and then he makes it. Then we have Bay making the shot, 3-pointer, and then Bam Adebayo finishes off with the 2 free throws. So we're good on that. So Miami winning that first quarter big time. All right, so in the second quarter, this is where I talk about Jaquez. Jaquez has the basketball, and he has this nasty footwork that sends Bogdanovich flying away, either flying away or breaking his ankles. I don't care how you put it. Jaquez completely fools Bogdanovich, and then buries that 3. That is literally cold. What he just did, cold, literally cold. Then Jaquez making that driving layup, and for the second quarter alone, as Bam Adebayo makes these dunks, you want to count turnovers. So, like I said with the turnovers, right? The Hawks have 21 turnovers tonight. 10 of those turnovers came from this quarter. 10 turnovers in the second quarter. That is bad for Atlanta. That is really bad. But in the end, they would win this quarter 28-22, outscoring the Heat by 6, and the halftime score would be 63-52. So they were catching up a little bit. Now in the third quarter, things were close and then not close. The lead was 21 at some point, 21. And I think that goes the same with the first half too. They go on a run, they're making some shots. And there was and then the first part of the third quarter, Jaquez making these free throws, and then there was a defensive 3 seconds. So Trae Young would make that technical shot. Now, Murray, the different all-star in the team, he was banking. He was making these shots in. He is finding the rhythm at the third quarter, and he's getting the Hawks closer and closer and closer. And I'm talking 8-point closer. Or 8 points, 7 points actually. 7 points closer. And it was scary. Then we have a round of missing layups, missing shots, and rebounds. And majority of those rebounds were coming from a hat uh, from Lowry. There was a block shot. Richardson makes that driving layup, and then we're finally getting something in. Kyle Lowry makes that 3-pointer, and Richardson makes a 3-pointer. Next thing you realize, we're back up by 17. So, and then Murray makes that 3-pointer, and we're inching closer again. And then Bogdanovich finally making that 3-pointer, and you just left them wide open like that. So, safe to say, it was a little bit more of a competitive third quarter after we were going on a run, and then Atlanta was going on some kind of run as well, and then Wesley Matthews making a 3-pointer or 2 at the end of the third quarter. Now, fourth quarter. Now we go to the fourth quarter where Atlanta was known for coming back, especially what they did against Orlando Magic. Now they were in Mexico City. The altitude is much higher and much more unsettling than Denver, Colorado. Did you know that? Like, now I'm talking 2,000 feet up high in the mountains in Mexico City. 2,000 altitude. Look it up. I'm not kidding you. I don't know how they do it. But Atlanta, my point here is Atlanta, they can make comebacks from 11 points down. They can do that. And they did that against Orlando Magic in Mexico City. Now, so that's where I was worried about with the Heat. We're only up by 11. The fourth quarter meltdowns were our thing in this franchise. Let's see what they do here. So Trae Young making shots, and we're making these free throws. Trae Young missing the free throw, and it makes the second one. Then Richardson makes that clutch 3-pointer to get back up within 13. Then there were a few misses from each other, and then Bogdanovich makes that 3-pointer. Things were getting interesting again. And then Duncan Robinson makes that driving layup to get back up within 12. So there's that. And then Bam makes that 2-point shot. And Bam Adebayo gets fouled. We get 2 free throws in. Trae Young makes that 3-pointer, and then Bogdanovich makes that 3-pointer as well. So they're connecting threes. They are connecting threes. Speaking of connecting three, Drew Smith connects a 3. That's when the shot clock is winding down. All right. Then we go to then Trae Young makes another layup, and then Atlanta turns it over. They felt as though as there was contact off the turnover, and then look what happens next. And somebody else got a technical. It's Trae Young. Trae Young gets himself a technical. That's his first one of the season. I think, I could be wrong, but I do know that's his first technical foul of the game besides Quinn Snyder. Kyle Lowry makes that technical shot, and the rest is history. But Trae Young not going away without a fight. Trae Young makes the 2 free throws, and they're going. And then Atlanta decides to do something that we tried doing against the Knicks the last playoffs. You remember what that was? Where they're fouling Haywood Highsmith. They're fouling Haywood Highsmith because they're saying they know he can barely shoot up free throws. He can barely do that, and they're fouling him. But he's been pretty spot on. He only missed 1 free throw out of those fouls, and they're making these layups in. Now after another foul from Bogdanovich to Haywood Highsmith, they call timeout and then try to see what's going on. So, but my point here is the Hawks are capitalizing slightly because Haywood Highsmith are making these free throws, but the Heat would respond. Now there are a few layups and there were a few free throws, especially from both sides. And then ultimately the defense of the Miami Heat just too much for the Atlanta Hawks, and we have beaten them 117 to 109. And again, this is without Jimmy Butler and Tyler Herro, and they came into Atlanta and then beat them in that game. So that's really, really nice to see here. But we can't celebrate too much yet. We go straight to San Antonio after this. So we have a game tomorrow night at San Antonio, Texas, where we have a date with this player, Victor Wembanyama, with Banyama, the first overall pick, a 7'4" center who can shoot. That's something to look at. So I'm excited for this game tomorrow. And with this win, we have taken over Southeast Division, even though we've always taken care of that division. But this season it's been a little bit more competitive. A little more competitive. We got 3 teams that are actually really good. The Orlando Magic is surprising. The Orlando Magic are winning some big games. In fact, they just win huge against Milwaukee Bucks. So maybe it's our time to shine. In Atlanta, well, we just beat Atlanta, so there's that. And Charlotte might be a sleeper team because they are currently 3 for 5. Now the record. Now don't let that record fool you because we do have eventually had to play Charlotte in season tournaments. But with this win, we have won 4 straight after losing 4 straight. We are now 1 game over 500. Let's hope it stays that way. Let's not get streaky. Let's keep it consistent. If we can beat Victor, let me just get back. I know. Wembanyama and the Spurs, maybe we can do something. Maybe we can do something about this. And I hope whatever's happening with Jimmy Butler, I hope he's doing well. Tyler Herro with speedy recovery. And Caleb Martin, we haven't talked much about him because he's been out for a long time right now, since that season opener. I think he's dealing with a leg injury. Let's hope he comes back really soon because there's going to be some big games coming up very, very soon. And with the Heat streak going on, it's nice to see that they're finally starting the rhythm. 4-game win streak. I like that. Anyway, guys, it kind of sucks too because then we have to fly out of Georgia to go straight to Texas during the night. That sucks. But what can he do? Can they do it? Let's find out. But anyway, guys, there you go. That's gonna do it for this video. If you have enjoyed this video and the game itself, please hit the like button, subscribe to our content because Miami teaches you guys to back at what he does. Hit it right there with your favorite entertainment you deserve. We got 3 games tomorrow. We got the Florida Panthers, Women's Hurricanes, and this Heat game. So I'm definitely looking forward for that. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it, and I'll see you guys then. Good night, everybody.